Welcome to Life Taps and Backstabs. This is part two. This is part two of the top 5 things from the Rogue, because I waffled on for so long about stealth. When I was watching it back, I thought it was all important as well. So stealth became its own video, part 1. This is now part 2, where we're going to get into the other abilities, utilities, changes, tweaks that I would love to see on the amazing Rogue that leaves little purple stars wherever he goes. I bloody love that ability. It's probably, I mean, I know the Necro hopefully is going to get some cooler graphics for spell effects soon, but it's probably my favourite spell graphic. I don't know why. It's just so cool. Just disappearing into dust with a little bit of purple magic as well. Right, yes. So this is part 2 of my my Rogue top 5 changes, tweaks, feedback, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, enjoy. Let's go and have a look at the number 2, the second thing after the stealth. Yeah. Right, number two, suggestion, feedback, number 2. This isn't in any particular order. The only one that was in order was the stealth. I think that is critically important. So 2, 3, 4 and 5, or 2, 3, 4, however many I end up doing. These aren't in any particular order. Now, techniques. I don't really have an issue with techniques in terms of the readiness and stuff. I have a little bit more issue with techniques on casters, not so much on the melee. But it kind of starts from this exposed state. I don't think exposed needs to be in the game anymore. Like, if everybody is able to put expose on the mob and take advantage of expose on the mob, then it kind of completely takes away the point of having expose and force. What was the other one? Was it forced and exposed? There were 2. The melee did one, and then the casters were able to take advantage of it, and the casters did one, which the melees were able to take advantage of. It completely negates that now. So there's no point. There's no point, in my opinion, in having exposed in the game. The only thing that it did was it limited your resource. So at that point, then just put the resource that this technique uses and needs up. Just make that 2,000. If you make that 2,000 readiness, then I then can't do expose, which is 1,000, and lucky strike, which is 1,000. Like, I can't do it. Well, it's the same in terms of readiness, isn't it? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if I can put expose and then take advantage of expose myself, and it takes me a second to do it, because it takes me a second to click that. It takes me a second to click expose, and then I've got, well, it takes me a millisecond to hit expose, and then I've got a 1 second cooldown, and then I hit lucky strike. Like, there's no point. Expose is completely pointless in the game. Just remove it, and then you get all of these, all of our techniques, all of our cool abilities, just happening. So we are then able to pierced armor, which we shouldn't even have, like, because why have we still got pierced armor when we got corrosive proof? Like, just remove pierced armor, because it even if it does stack, it shouldn't. And I think at the moment it's at the point of just visually stacking. So you might see the debuff on the mob, but it's not actually stacking in game in terms of numbers. Grappled, susceptible mind, reduce some resistances by 10% would be really cool if you're grouped with a wizard and they haven't got and we haven't got a magic debuff in there. Although the wizards have susceptible mind as well. So yeah, it just makes all of these things, like defenseless, traumatize, weakened. It makes all these things really interesting, without having to then, because you're giving up a spot here. Like, if I want to put, what is that one? Strike of Demise. If I want to put Strike of Demise on there, I have to remove another one of my poisons just to put Expose on there, so that I'm taking 1,000 of my readiness just so that I can do something cool on a and the debuffs are fun. Like, I like the debuffs, and ironically, I really liked. I did a video ages and ages ago about feedback on all the necro stuff, on all the rogue stuff. And it was just at the end of pre-alpha, like pre-seasons, and my group, my guild, had just started. They just started kind of playing around with the states. So we had blunt, which creates disorient, so it disorientated state, and then monks were able to take advantage of it and things like that. And we just started kind of playing around with that, and then they changed it to this technique system, which was have to drop the expose, and then you have to drop the thing on top of it, which takes advantage of the expose. And it's I don't think you need it. So, in my opinion, remove exposed, and then all of these start becoming really interesting for the rogue, like trick shot for reducing their outgoing damage suddenly becomes something quite interesting, and you could kind of very, very easily put that on there. The cool thing with the rogue is that you have two different types of these. So I think it's Deceptive Strike. Yeah, primary. So Deceptive Strike is primary, and Trick Shot is the offhand. So we can have a piercing weapon in our primary and a blunt weapon in our offhand, and we can do two different debuffs, which is really, really cool. But not when you need to put expose down every time. It's just it's one of those really annoying, awkward barriers of entry that the game has. Occasionally the game just has like these really awkward barriers to playing in a fun way, and expose is one of those at the moment. Like they dropped force and exposed a while ago. They just gave everybody expose, and if everybody's got exposed, then nobody needs exposed, in my opinion. And at that point, it makes all our techniques really interesting. I just think that would be really, really cool. And then you start to get to, hang on, where's the really cool one that we've got? I think I'm thinking about the Necro now. I thought there was one that we had that did something really fun. I don't think there is. No, I think I'm thinking of the Necro one. Yeah, I'm thinking of the Necro. There's a Necro one that puts them in like a disorientated wobble state or something. I mean, we can do that with Deceptive Strike, but yeah, I just think that would be really, really fun to just remove expose and then allow all of these kind of cool little things, because we've got so much ability here. We've got 3 different things that we can do with the primary weapon. We've got 3 different things we can do with the offhand weapon. Lucky Strike can also do things off the primary weapon as well. So we've got 9 different states or debuffs that we can put the mob into. Through our can we do with Striker Demise as well? Yeah, we've got 12 different things we can do to a mob depending on what weapon I always have, if you look in my bags, I've always got a blunt weapon, I've always got a slashing weapon. Where's my slashing? I've always got a slashing weapon on me, I've always got a piercing weapon on me, which has come from, in the past, I was always kind of trying to do weakened, or I was trying to help out the wizards, and I would have a blunt weapon in my offhand to help the wizards out and do a debuff for the wizards, and things like that. Like it's fun, and we don't do it anymore because of this. It's it's frustrating. So yeah, there we go. That's my. I mean, I suppose technically that's more of a kind of a game feedback suggestion rather than a rogue feedback suggestion, but. It does link into the rogue, because then we have all of these which you can really kind of tie all of these cool abilities down and narrow them down to doing something really, really interesting, really fun. But for goodness sake, please remove pierced armor, because we don't need that. The only reason we would ever need pierced armor is if we're killing the mob so quickly, which to be fair we do, but the time to kill is apparently going up, so we will be killing mobs slower. That's the only thing is that maybe our corrosive brew is on cooldown, so then we can go in and we can do pierced armor. But with time to kill going up, then there's no point, and they don't stack, so just take it off us. So yeah, there we go. That's number 2. Okay, we're on to the toxins. We're on to the toxins now. It was really nice because I had. I love the idea of toxins. Like toxins / poisons, in my opinion, are really important for the rogue. I know they wanted to make the rogues in this like a little bit more mechanical, in terms of we would make mechanical things like the explosive decoy and that sort of thing, which I think should just be like a, I don't know, punch dagger or something that we've got attached to our wrist or something. But we got toxins. We got 4 different toxins. Now, I like the fact that we got 4 different toxins. It was brilliant because we went up from just a synthetic, so we then ended up with a searing and an anticoagulant and the venomous, which is really cool. I'm not a big fan of the fact that they are all based on a different damage modifier. I think that's just a complete cop-out, because you just basically, when you get buffed, you just look at what your highest one is and you just use that one, which it's not really, it doesn't really encourage you to focus or build towards a favourite toxin or whatever. So I really think they should drop that and just put it on intelligence. Just make all of this intelligence. One of the really fun things in the game is focusing your build around a stat. Like I've focused mine on dexterity. I've not got my hat on. I've not got a few things on, and I haven't got my food and drink on. But I focused my build around dexterity. It's really interesting because we've got another rogue in the guild leader, and he's based his around intelligence and strength. And strangely, we are within 1,000 damage of each other on the big raid lady. So during that fight, we are within 1,000 damage of each other, give or take, like plus or minus. Like I'll be a little bit ahead one fight, and then he'll be a little bit ahead the other fight. So it's really interesting how that build has worked. But I think these need to, rather than just do damage, I think we need to start seeing these do something. So the obvious and the easy one is a snare. We need to see a snare coming in here. It would be really nice to see a short duration slow would be really, really good fun. So when it procs, it slows the mob for a little bit. When it procs, it snares the mob for a little bit. When it procs, I would love it to stun the mob. I mean, that would be completely OP for what I think Visionary Realms want the game to be and do. But something like that, like, for God's sake, don't make it fear the enemy. I still haven't bought, if you have a look on here, I still haven't bought Unstable Mixture. It's still the most stupid, ridiculous ability that we have in our spell book. I still haven't bought it. You can check if you have a look down in the description. I've done a video on that 2 years ago. I'm not changing that video. It's still got really good feedback on that ability, and I still think they should split it. So TLDR on that, they should split it into positive and negative effects and give us two different abilities, because then it sort of works. I think the toxins would be really, really fun, and I know it was brought up recently. The Dropper is talking about doing these as pickpocketed or having components that you need to pickpocket to make the toxins, and if we start making our toxins, that would be fantastic. That was one of my favourite things in EverQuest, was going around and finding all the poison components and making poisons on my EverQuest rogue, which were not strong at all. It was a complete waste of time, but I love doing it, and I want to love making toxins on this rogue as well. So I hopefully they do go in that direction, and we start crafting these toxins, because that would be great, rather than just learning them from the trainer. I mean, still learn the recipes from the trainer. That would be absolutely fine. I want to interact more with my trainer. I want to, when pickpocket does come in the game, I think it would be really, really cool if we would be able to pickpocket something and then take it to the trainer and say, hey, I pickpocketed this. Like, well, what's this? Like, I've got this little bit of like the alchemy recipes, like the scrap of an alchemy recipe or something like that. Just you've pickpocketed something and you take it back to the rogue trainer, and he goes, I haven't seen this for a long time. Here you go. You want to go and find this, and this, and see what it might combine together to make, or something like that. So that's actually led quite well into pickpocketing, because I think pickpocketing and toxins particularly after that little conversation that Dropper was having on stream, and I put a big long feedback post in the forum when they asked for it as well. Pickpocketing in the game, there is some cool ideas. I think it needs to have a long cooldown. It needs to use a lot of resources. I think there's an argument to have it pickpocket from a different loot table. I can kind of see that, because you don't want to be have a rogue in the group and he's just pickpocketing all the loot from the actual mob. However, I did quite enjoy like pickpocketing a dragon scale from Nagafen and stuff like that. So I would put pickpocket as a catch-all sort of ability that represents the speed of our hands, like how fast we are in combat and how sneaky we are. So I do think, and I know lots of people disagree with this, I do think we should be able to pickpocket a scorpion stinger, for instance, because it represents, that pickpocket ability represents our hands being fast enough as a rogue to just slice off the stinger on the scorpion and drop it in our pocket so that he's not going to sting us, like things like that, and remove the poison glands from a snake. Maybe not. Like you need to put like a little cross, a tick or a cross next to certain things from mobs that are lootable. So maybe not like snake fangs. Probably not. You're not going to be able to like pull out a fang on a snake while you're fighting it. But scorpion stinger, I think you probably could. Spider venom, like I don't know, but you can go through and you can allocate like a tick or a cross or a yes or a no to things like that. But at that point, I think going and pickpocketing, or the Gadai, looking for like a little vial so that we can make our toxins, I think that would be a really, really cool thing to do. So you've got to go and pickpocket all the vials. Even if the vials that you pickpocket you can also buy, I'd still go and try and pickpocket them, to be honest, because it's cool, right? And then you have the argument of, should you be able to pickpocket in combat, or am I sneaking up to a mob purely to pickpocket it, pickpocketing it and then sneaking away, going up to another mob and pickpocketing that, at which point the cooldown needs to be much lower, because we're going between mobs. We're going out as a rogue specifically just to pickpocket things, at which point you don't want to put that barrier in our way to say, well, I can only pickpocket every 30 seconds because I've pickpocketed one mob, I've walked to this mob, and now I've got to stand behind it for 20 seconds waiting to pickpocket it. If you allow it to do in combat, that's where the cooldown can go up, because we can be fighting and pickpocketing at the same time. However, I would say at that point, have it cost a lot of opportunity, have it cost a lot of our resources to do it, like 2 or 3 opportunity, because we're giving up some damage, we're giving up some sort of DPS to be able to pickpocket it. So yeah, I would love to be able to pickpocket certain things. Toxins should not be, like everything shouldn't be pickpocketable. I need to go and get some moonlit or some fire lily petals or something so that I can grind them in my rogue pestle and mortar and then combine them and then put them in the vial, which I have picketed from a Gadai somewhere or other. So yeah, I'm looking forward to pickpocketing. I hope they don't overcomplicate it, because I think if you overcomplicate pickpocketing, that's where it starts becoming, I think there's room then for it to become not like obnoxious, but just like awkward and something that we don't really enjoy doing. So keep it simple, and keep it varied. Like if you're going to put pickpocketing in, we need a big loot table of things that we can pickpocket. Don't just put in there a toxin vial and 3 parts of recipes that we can take back to the rogue trainer. Like, I want big long exploration quests from the rogue trainer when we've pickpocketed something. Like plenty of things that we can get for our toxins, plenty of abilities that we can do. So yeah, I think the pickpocketing could be really, really good fun. So yeah, there was some really cool ideas in the thread. I just think that it's better to keep it simple. I think the best opinion and the best kind of comment that came out of that little thread was, if you are in combat, it needs to cost a lot of resources to be able to do it. It's not just like a press and forget kind of button. It needs to be you need to have a definite decision to press that pickpocket button. Anyway, right, yeah. Pickpocketing. It would be really, really cool to have that combined in with some toxins, and let's have the toxins do some more stuff. And really, I don't like them all being on different stats, because then, like I say, you're not picking one of these, because like the fire dot should do a dot, like that should be a dot, not just like a proc. It should proc a dot. The synthetic one or the venomous one, that can probably proc a direct damage. But like, I mean, you're just going through the names. You can easily rename it when you want to make a snare toxin, or a toxin that slows the mob for 5 seconds when it procs, 3 seconds when it procs, something like that. So yeah, easy to change it, but we need some variety in those, and I think they all need to go on one stat. Like, if you want to build your rogue as a toxin rogue, it needs to be based on one stat, and I would put it on intelligence, because then it links in with the poisons as well. So poisons and toxins all on intelligence. That's where we want to go, in my opinion. So the last thing, and it's really a really small thing, is it's our utilities, because this one, where is it? This one, utterly frustrating. Like, this being a passive utility, and we've got to give up a slot to put it in there. Now, I gave feedback on this one during the seasons as well, like ambidextrous, in terms of what it should be doing. I don't think it's too much of an ask to make this a passive, just an innate passive. Just like, we don't, as a rogue, we don't forget how to be ambidextrous. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, we don't forget how to be ambidextrous. Like a ghost, you can sort of make an argument for like a ghost. It's like, okay, so I need to be really sneaky now, so I'm gonna have to concentrate and properly like think about staying to the shadows. Like, you can sort of make an argument for this being a passive utility that you need to put on the bar, but ambidextrous, our utility bar can be quite packed. You can swap out the toxins an awful lot. You've now got these silly jacket things, which they're fine. Like, if I just think about them as a heal, like, I've now got a heal, so I can come down here and I can put toxic elixir on there. I've now kind of got a heal. I don't try and think about the mechanics to how it's healing me, because I think it's dumb. Exactly the same with the opportunity one as well. Where is it? Where's the opportunity one? Where is the opportunity one? Did I even buy it? I'm sure I did. What was it called? Elixir of Opportunity. Oh yeah, of course it was. Like that you can kind of put that on occasionally. Like, I can see the point of it. I have never used it. I can see the point that it gives you 2 opportunity when you take damage. So if you're wandering through a really dangerous zone at level 13, and you put Elixir of Opportunity on yourself, when you get hit, you then gain that opportunity so that you can then sprint to the shadows or escape artist and get out of there. Or it gives you a resource that you are able to do. However, if you're in a really dangerous place, you tend to sneak around anyway. And when you're sneaking around, you end up with 4 opportunity. So this is, I don't get this. This doesn't really work. If you're soloing, why would you want more opportunity over a heal? Okay, you get the heal later on, but again, like, if you're soloing at level 13, you're going to use the blowy uppy one, the explosive decoy, which I wish they'd rename or just kind of repurpose. I think I think these, I'm completely getting off to the side now because I was trying to talk about ambidextrous. I suppose we can talk about the utilities in general. I think these all just need like a rework in terms of what they're supposed to be doing, how they're doing it, and the lore behind what they're doing. Like, I don't mind us having a heal. I don't like the fact that it's a toxin that we're healing ourselves off when the mob is dying. Like, and I don't know what the opportunity one is supposed to be. And the explosive decoy I don't like. I think that should just be like an explosive parry or something, like a punch dagger that comes out of our wrist when we get hit or something. I don't know. But yeah, I don't like these kind of ones. But anyway, back to the point. Ambidextrous. Like, if that went just up here as a passive, an innate passive, just like things like the Shadow Knight has, the Dire Lord, just like the Dire Lord has their +5 to all resistances one. It's just an innate passive. It just needs to go up here, and then also. And again, this was feedback that I put in during the seasons as well. The blunt ability is not really that impactful. Like, the haste is really, really good. Like, I get 5% haste for having 2 pierces or having a pierce in my offhand. The slashing, if I have a slashing weapon in my offhand, I get more. I lose that damage penalty. As soon as you put a blunt in there, you get a 5% chance to stun the mob for a second. A 5% chance is once in 20 attacks. So during a fight... Sorry, I've got a car alarm going off. So during a fight, how many times are we attacking? Like, if the time to kill is going up a little bit, then maybe 1 in every 3 fights we're going to stun the mob. So we have the issue with this is that we have no control over what it's doing. Like, we have control over the piercing, we have control over the slashing. We're going to pick piercing because we want some haste. We're going to pick slashing because we want to do a little bit more damage. We're not going to pick blunt because it gives us a 1 in 20 chance to maybe stun a mob. Well, a 1 in 20 chance to stun a mob for a second during the fight, which might happen once every 3 fights. If we have to attack 20 times to get it to happen once. So I think this needs to change. I think the blunt would be really, really nice to kind of shift up. I was trying to think of. I suggested something. I'm going to go back and find in the other video what I suggested for the blunt in this one, just so that I can kind of pop it up on the video here. But I suggested. I thought of something in the last video, in the last feedback video from a couple of years ago about what to do with that. But I would really like that just to become an innate passive, just a passive that we have when we get to level 10. Our ambidextrous skills have advanced and surpassed any other fighter, and we just have the skill ambidextrous. I think that would be really, really cool, and then that opens up all sorts of other abilities that we can put in here. Sorry, my voice was going there. Had a quick drink. So, for instance, evasive manoeuvres. Evasive manoeuvres. It would be lovely to have the evasive manoeuvres on here, and it does find its way onto my bar a reasonable amount of time. The frustrating thing is that the heal, the toxic elixir, if we do need a heal, that tends to have to go on there because we have to kind of recast it all the time. And again, it breaks stealth. It really shouldn't be breaking stealth. But evasive manoeuvres, you could probably make the argument that should be an innate thing as well. I think it used to be. An innate one. I think it was one of those. It was one of our traits that we got at level 15, I think, during seasons, maybe, that gave us this. So that when our health drops below 20%, our dodge increases to 30 and the cooldowns are reduced by 20. So whenever we're really close to dying, we become really super dodgy, which is really, really cool. So I think that one, and you could probably make an argument for that one. I think definitely ambidextrous needs to become an innate passive, just flat out. And then where is it? Where's it gone? Evasive maneuvers. I could probably make a pretty good argument that that should be as well. And then everything else, like all of these other utilities, suddenly become quite interesting. Like opportunism, since they changed all the techniques, has become kind of pointless. This needs a rework. Shadow planning is shocking. It's absolutely terrible. So it's just and so yeah, I think just getting some utilities in here. I don't want to start going down everything, and because that's a completely different video. Just giving feedback on every single ability and every single utility. Yeah, I just think those two. I think ambidextrous in particular, I think needs to just be up here at all times. And if you choose to, I haven't got anything on here actually. If you choose to just use a two-handed spear, then so be it. You lose your ambidextrous passive because you're not ambidextrousing. Yeah, you lose any ability of, because it's based on your offhand, isn't it? So if my offhand hasn't got anything in there, then I'm not actually gaining anything. Yeah, there we go. I hope that was fun. I hope that was useful. I would love to hear what you guys think as rogues out there in Terminus. How are you playing? What's the one thing? So my one thing was stealth, getting back into stealth, and how all the abilities interact with stealth. That's my big thing. That's my one thing. That's my main request. Visionary Realms, if you're watching, and I hope you are. Because I've been playing a rogue for 3 years, absolutely bloody love the class, and I think I have some good experience and thoughts and everything on the class. So yeah, that's my one big thing. I would love some more interactions and synergies with stealth. I think that would be fantastic. What is yours? What's your number one? And then, I mean, if you want to throw down 5 and drop them down in the comments down below, that would be amazing. But I'd love to find out what you guys think as well. And yeah, I will probably do another video as well, because as you can see, as I was scrolling down, I was like, oh, that ability. Oh yeah, I've not used that one for ages. Like, what was it? Shadow planning. I haven't used shadow planning since I got it at level 15 2 years ago and tried it, and I was like, no, that's not working. Yeah, maybe I will do I'll do a top 5 abilities that need some tweaking. I think that will be the next video. So yeah, thanks very much everybody, take care. Please drop a like and a subscribe, drop some comments down below if you are a rogue and what you think, and I will see you next time. If you see me in Terminus, I'm obviously Sol, or drop me a message and say hey, and I'll see you later. Thanks very much everybody, take care, bye bye.